Here is your NXT 103 and 105 The Queensway 2024 condo market update. Hello, everybody. It's Alex Drobin with Remax. I help people just like you buy and sell real estate in Toronto. If you get any value from this video or any of the other videos on my channel, please don't hesitate to hit that subscribe button. I'm trying to give out as much free value on this YouTube channel as possible. And if you're thinking about buying or selling a property in 2025, hit the link at the bottom of this video and you can set up a call with me today. So what did happen at NXT 103, 105 The Queensway? Why am I doing a video on this specific condo building, you may ask? Well, it's because I actually own a condo in here myself. I'm sitting in it right now. I bought it in 2020. I've been keeping my eye on this building ever since. And actually, I was keeping my eye on these buildings way before I actually bought this unit as well, because I just love these buildings. For those who don't know, NXT is a building, well, it's two buildings actually, but it's right at Windermere and the Queensway. It's on the west side of Windermere. And these buildings are incredible in terms of amenities. You have an indoor pool, an outdoor pool, two gyms, one on each building, and you have access to both gyms, regardless of which building you live in. There is a party room, a meeting room, theater, guest parking, 24/7 concierge. It's a really nice building. It's like an amenity. It's a resort style condo building. And I just wanted to kind of go into the numbers of what's been happening in these buildings. And it might give you kind of a broader outlook and overview of what's happening in the condo market right now. So I'm going to go over the types of units that were sold, the average price of these units, the lowest and highest prices, and we'll take a look into why the whole thing happened and why these prices have come down drastically, unfortunately, for anybody like myself who owns in these two buildings. Just a bit of background before we get into the actual numbers. The condo market has really been taking a beating for the last couple of years, and it's everything that I talk about in my previous videos. But people who purchased properties in 2020, 2021, and at the peak of the market in 2022, at those extremely low interest rates, basically saw their values of their properties decline quite drastically within the last couple of years. The investors had a lot to do with kind of what's happening right now, because people bought these sorts of units for investment purposes, like I said, in 2021, 2022. And then what happened was they would rent them out. So you would come very close to being cash flow positive on most of these units, or at least break even. And then when the interest rates started going up, for anybody who was on those variable rates, the monthly payment ended up being way higher than what the rental market would suggest that the condo would actually rent for on a monthly basis. The rental amount that you're getting from whatever tenant you have isn't covering your mortgage payment with your maintenance fee, with your taxes and stuff like that. And then people started panicking. People started to almost trying to panic sell. But the problem is with investment properties that are tenanted is that they're significantly more difficult to sell. Part of the reason is because tenants have so much power in Ontario. Tenants can decline a showing if they want to, even if it's a 24-hour notice. Tenants don't have to leave the property in a nice, clean condition when there are viewings. You can't stage a property properly. You can't clean it properly. You can't do video, drone videography, photography, everything that you'd want to do in order to actually sell a property for the most money possible. So tenanted properties are significantly harder to sell. So that's why prices started going down, because a lot of these properties ended up just sitting on the market. So for example, if you leased a unit to a tenant for a full year, the earliest you could possibly get them out of the unit is at the very end of that year term. And you have to give them 60 days notice. And the only way you can actually get them out is if you're moving into the place yourself, or your immediate family is moving into the condo yourself, or whatever property yourself. So a lot of these places were just sitting on the market, and then the inventory in the condo market just started to shoot up through the roof. So now there are so many one bedroom and one plus den places in the city of Toronto that, you know, buyers can just pick and choose. Luckily, the interest rates are starting to come down a little bit. So I do see, you know, a light at the end of the tunnel for a lot of these condo owners, such as myself, in terms of, you know, making back whatever money they purchased the property at. But I do think that'll take some time. I think it'll be at least a year, maybe a couple of years before prices return to what they were in like peak 2022, late 2021. For example, last year at this time, the city of Toronto had 4,505 active condo listings. And this year in November of 2024, those are the latest numbers, the city of Toronto has 5,359 new listings. So almost 1,000 more condo listings that are on the market currently that are active year over year, right? That's a big number. That just shows you that a lot of people who are looking for condos just have a lot of choice. And in my opinion, unless you find like an amazing deal on a condo, then you should wait even a little bit longer for, purchase a condo. I'd say March, April, we'll see even more inventory in terms of the condo market. So that's part of the problem. There's just so many condo units available in the city. Regardless, let's talk about NXT. There were a total of 42 condo sales in NXT in 2024. The lowest sale price was $410,000 on a one bedroom unit. So these are one bedroom units I'll get into in a second, but they're just under 500 square feet. So really small units. But the lowest sale price in this building was $410,000 in October, and the highest sale price was 1.1 million, and this was for a big unit. It was about 1,200 square feet, and it was a two bedroom plus den, two bathroom unit in April of 2024. So I wanted to see those sale prices year over year. So I went back to 2020. So let's just go back year over year. So there were 42, same exact number, condo sales in 2023 at NXT, with the lowest sale price being $490,000 and the highest one being $1,077,000. Now, that's quite a difference. Year over year, the lowest sale price of the exact same layout unit went down $80,000. That's really unfortunate, but that's just the reality of the situation, right? Like this year, the exact same unit sold for $410,000. Last year, in November of 2023, the lowest sale price for that exact same unit was $490, $80,000 difference. There were 67 total transactions in 2022 at NXT, with the lowest being 500. So again, it went down by $10,000 year over year from 2022 to 2023, and the highest was 968. 105 total units sold in 2021, which kind of reflects what I told you guys about the Bloor West Village market up in the Bloor West Village market update. Such a drastic decrease from 2021 to 2024, right? 2021, you saw 105 total units sold. 2024, you saw 42. That's a big difference. And the lowest sale price there was $460,000. So still $50,000 more expensive than in 2024. And the highest sale price being $975,000. And then last but not least, 102 total transactions in 2020, with the lowest sale price of being $435. The highest was $870. Again, 2020 saw a higher sale price of one of these one bedroom units that's just under 500 square feet for $435,000. Whereas the exact same unit right now, 5 years later, is going for $25,000 less. And again, a lot of that, most of it does have to do with interest rates, the interest rate hikes, these investors that I talked about earlier. And that's why you're seeing such a decline in the condo market. Now, let's dive a bit deeper into this. There were 42 total units sold in 2024 at NXT. That's 103, 105 the Queensway. 10 of them were one bedroom units under the 500 square foot mark. So 495 to be exact. 10 of them. The sale price of these range from 410, like I mentioned, to 507, 500. So that's quite a difference between a unit of the exact same size and exact same comparable. So the 410, the unit that sold for 410,000, sold in October of 2024, and the 507,500 sold in May of 2024. Let's get into the one bedroom plus dens. In 2024, there were 21 one bedroom plus dens with one bathroom or one bedroom plus dens with two bathrooms sold at NXT 103 and 105 the Queensway. Those range between 600 and 700 square feet. About 750 square feet, let's say, with the lowest sale price coming in at 528,000, and that happened in September, and the highest sale price at 638,000 happening in January of 2021. So the beginning of the year, the condo market was a little bit stronger than it is at the end. This is kind of, what I'm talking about right now in this whole video. But that's $110,000 decline from the beginning of the year to October on that exact same condo unit. And that's about 700, maybe 750 square foot unit. Again, Lowest price, 528,000. Highest sale price in 2024, 638,000. At the peak of the market, a one bedroom that was about 600 square feet was ended up selling for $710,000, just to give you a point of reference. So the market has really taken a hit on these specific units, on the one bedrooms and the one bedroom plus den. And last but not least, the two bedroom, two bathroom units at NXT. So there were 11 two bedroom, two bathroom units that sold at NXT 103 and 105, the Queensway, in 2024. The lowest sale price was actually 585,000. That happened this December. And that's like the lowest I've seen. And then the highest sale price was a two bedroom plus den, which was about 1,200 square feet. That sold for $1.11 million. So the bad news is the lowest sale price of the two bedroom unit, like I said, I'm pretty sure that's the lowest sale price of a two bedroom unit in these buildings since like 2015, 2016. So I don't really know what happened on that sale. But the highest sale price is actually higher than any sale price that we've had in this building in the last 3 or 4 years, right? Because the highest sale price in 2024 was 1,110,000, whereas last year, let's just get back to my notes here, but yeah, last year in 2023, the highest was 1.077. So $23,000 less. 2022, the highest sale price was 968. In 2022 is 975. So same thing, $130,000 less. And then in 2020, it was 870. So the bigger units tend to be selling. The smaller units are the ones that are taking the biggest hit, unfortunately. Like I said, a lot of investors, a lot of people that purchased them in 2020 can't afford to keep them with a tenant, and they're just on the market sitting there, and they're just selling at a big loss. But the good news is that if you own a condo that's a little bit bigger, that's a little bit more unique, that's a corner unit, you have a good CN Tower view, stuff like that, those sorts of properties tend to still sell for a pretty good price. Now let's touch on what's happening right now. Right now it's December 27th, and as I'm recording this video, there are 13 units that are available at 103 and 105 the Queensway, right? With the lowest one being $499,000, which has been on the market for 77 days. Clearly, they need to bring the price down on that one. And then another two that are listed for $499, one for $518. I might have to throw a graphic up here. And then the highest list price right now is $998,000, two bedrooms, two bathrooms, and it's been sitting on the market for 111 days. That's another situation where you should probably reduce the price if you actually want to sell it, or take it off the market, redo your marketing strategy and relist in the new year. Same thing with 105 the Queensway. There's a unit here sitting for 62 days, two bedroom, two bathroom at 958. 103 the Queensway, there's a unit that's sitting here for 748,000. So, lots of opportunity in the condo market, but like I said, I think it's going to come down a little bit. It's going to get a little worse before it gets better. We see light at the end of the tunnel if the interest rates continue to calm down, which it seems like they will. I think some of these units will start to sell. Other properties and other condos around Toronto will start to sell. Maybe the investors will start coming back. But anyways, there is your NXT 103, 105 market update for 2024. Again, I was a little bit all over the place there, but if you have any direct questions, or if you want any information, if you want to know how much your condo is worth, when it's a good time to sell, give me a call, send me a message. Like I said, there will be a link at the bottom of this video, and you can set up an appointment with me today, and I'll definitely get you the best price possible for the current market situation. So thank you so much for watching this video. Happy holidays, and have a great new year.